Ladies and gents, welcome to part 2 of my Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker HD walkthrough. We are finally now at Mother Base, and we're going to show you a little bit around Mother Base and let you kind of get the hang of it a little bit. For those of you that maybe have not played this game, because I know a lot of you probably haven't, just because it originated on the PSP, this will definitely remind you of what Metal Gear Solid 5 is going to be all about, kind of managing your mother base and building your teams and all that kind of stuff, and let them go out on missions and do extra ops and all that, side missions, and it's really fun. So this was obviously meant for the portable game, so you're going to see a lot of little, like, small, tiny missions that you're able to do here. So right now I'm just kind of showing you guys kind of what it looks. But we're going to go in through all the different sections here. Let's check out the R&D. We're going to go ahead and view the tutorial. So at Mother Base you can develop new weapons and items for use in missions. This icon shows that you are able to start developing weapons and items. However, to do so you will need the amount of GMP, which is funds in this game, displayed. Be careful, if you run out of GMP, development may come to a halt. More powerful weapons and items will make difficult missions that much easier. This concludes the tutorial. Alright, so let's go into the weapons here. So obviously, you know, me being a stealth guy, the main thing that I'm going to be focusing on is trying to level up my Hush Puppy, which is the Mark 22. Right now we're still level 1. We can go in and view at it. There's, I guess, 3 different levels. Take a look at the weapon itself. You can see the suppressor will eventually break if you use it too much. Alright, so just to go around and show you the different weapons and the different tabs that you have here. Grenade, smoke, stun rod, and we have nothing to develop right now. We have nothing any of that stuff. So right now we really can't do anything. We don't have any GMP because we've only done the very first mission, so it is time to move on and actually do some more of these missions here. Since we really can't do anything yet, there's no reason to go over any of this stuff. However, what we can do is look at the staff tutorial. Mother Base is divided into several teams, including the combat unit, R&D team, and the waiting room. By dividing your staff between the teams and raising each team's team level, you will be able to develop new weapons and items over time. Select Auto Assign in the waiting room to automatically assign staff to teams according to their abilities. Recruiting talented personnel and exploiting their talents with the right assignments is the key to expanding Mother Base. This concludes the tutorial. Alright, so Miller, you can actually use him for pretty much anything. You can read exactly what his stats are. He's the best player that you have right now. It even says how sick they are and all that kind of stuff. He says, "We're not mercenaries, we're a foreign legion. MSF's a business, a new kind of business." So, and then you can go up and down your guys as well. And they each have different stats and abilities based off of the different areas in the R&D. So we got a combat unit, R&D team, brig, but as you can see on the right side, there's combat, there's a medic, there's food staff. You got all different kinds of staffs that we're going to be able to get into. So here's everybody. I'm trying to remember what it said to actually do the auto not used cancel. We don't really need to do anything just yet. You can actually see the tutorials here too. There's all kinds of displays and stuff. I remember there was a button. Select, okay, yeah. We're gonna do auto assign. Right now all these guys are pretty much the basic grunts that we actually get, and we receive some new stuff as well, so we're gonna be able to use that. And now you can see that we have different people in different rooms. So since we did see that, we might be able to go to other here, not other, items, I think, and we can see the analyzer. That is something that we want to develop, and now we actually have GMP, so we're going to go ahead and ready that for development. Sweet. Now while that's getting ready, as you can see there, it is time to move on to our actual next mission, so we're going to go ahead and do that now. Go up to the mission selector. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of exposition in these videos, so because of that, I just want you to realize that there will be a lot of just cassette tapes and things like that, as opposed to a lot of gameplay. But for those of you that are just huge Metal Gear Solid fans, I know you're going to be able to stick through it, because that's just what makes these games so much fun, of all the backstory, and I, for one, absolutely love it. So we have main ops, which is the main story, and we have extra ops, which are those little extra things that give us more points, that we can actually send some of our troops out on, that we'll get to play as well. So I will be doing those in separate videos. So there is going to be a lot of videos for this game that I'm going to be doing, and I'll make sure to divide it up equally so that all you guys can get to see whatever it is that you want. So it's an easy kind of story to follow, an easy way to move on to the next video. So right now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to move on to the next mission, which is contact the Sandinista Comandante.
Snake, I rigged that radio so you can contact our young lady friend Paz.
Is she okay?
No need to worry. She's tougher than you think.
Still just a kid.
Which is exactly why she could be an effective source of information. Besides, that little Angel de la Paz is the one who gave us this mission, right?
I guess.
I'll put her on.
Snake.
Paz, where are you?
Ciudad Colon. At school. The teacher told me to stay here until things quiet down.
Teacher? Oh, him. He's... Yeah, that's probably good advice.
See, he has a radio in his room, so we can talk anytime.
Pretty fancy for a teacher.
Promise me, Snake, that you'll bring back peace, and...
I know. I'll contact you if I find your friend.
Thank you. Snake, if you need to know about Costa Rica, the geography, the climate, the wildlife, anything, just ask me. I know about its history and laws, too. We learned it all in school.
Got it. I have a question. I'll ask. What?
In school, I also learned that peace is an unnatural state for human society, and that war is a constant threat to our relationships with others.
That's right.
So, to achieve peace, we have to create it ourselves. Crying about it won't bring it about or make it last. Each one of us must go and seek it out.
You won't find it without making sacrifices. No offense, but I don't know what peace is. Never felt what it's like. Never even been interested in it.
Snake?
Oh, sorry. Listen, Paz, I think your ideas are admirable. And I hope they turn out to be right.
Yeah, me too.
Peace is in your name. Who better to help bring it back?
Thanks, Snake. I will be here whenever you need me. See you later.
Snake, use your radio to call people, but stay alert. You're in the middle of a mission and can't afford to let your guard down.
Got it.
Need to know more about Costa Rica? Paz can help you out.
Good to know.
We'll follow their transport route. This should take us straight to their main base.
From what I've seen, it looks like nukes.
Agreed. The key thing now is to confirm whether those spears really are what we think they are, and if so, why they're here.
Follow the transport route. Find the nukes.
That's what I'm thinking. First, we should make contact with the Sandinista Comandante. They can tell us more about what's up ahead, but it looks like their hideout's already come under attack.
We better hope they're still alive.
Snake, infiltrate that cabin and secure the Sandinista's Comandante. Neutralize any guards by knocking them out, putting them to sleep, or even using the Fulton recovery system. You choose how to handle it, boss.
Alright, here we go. So, you've got briefing files, mission prep, and of course options. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the briefing files and learn a little bit about this specific mission and then why Boss is doing what he's doing.
Number of warheads detected by the dew line.
57.
Number of MIRVs included.
Minimum 29, maximum 35.
Target region.
United States, East Coast.
Estimated time of re-entry.
2048 Zulu.
President selected attack option.
Unknown.
The president is dead.
Unknown. Communication has been lost.
I select Offutt Air Force Base as my target.
Offutt? But that's a U.S. base. What on earth do you mean?
Based on the projected number of incoming warheads, Washington, D.C. is presumed destroyed. The president is most likely dead. The U.S. government's control lost.
I realize that. So why not retaliate?
With both sides destroyed, global anarchy would ensue. Recovery would be difficult. The United States' nuclear strike capability must therefore be neutralized in order to preserve the communist bloc, where government remains largely intact.
You're siding with the enemy. You can't be serious.
Tell me, how do you define enemy? There are no borders in this world.
The same conclusion again and again. Where is the flaw? All right, let's try something else. Commencing test.
Understood.
You're crossing a suspension bridge.
Is this my mission?
Yes, your destination is the other side. The bridge is wide enough for only one person to pass at a time. A man is approaching from the opposite side. He's carrying a gun.
I shoot him.
Suppose he's your husband.
I shoot him.
In self-defense?
To spare him the grief. One must die, and one must live.
Next question. Your father asks you to fix the roof and mow the lawn. When you climb the ladder onto the roof, the ladder is taken away.
I fix the roof.
And when you're finished?
I jump down.
You'll break more than bones at this height.
I see no need to change my decision. I have not finished mowing the lawn. I must remain loyal to the mission.
Next. There is a snake in the bushes. It is poisonous. I need you to get rid of it.
I chase it back to its nest.
You can't. The snake's too vicious. It's already killed many people.
I chase it away.
It will bite you unless you kill it.
Go home. Kill me. Kill me now.
Why not kill the snake? Your mission is to get rid of it. Is this what you call loyalty? What are you loyal to? Country? Ideology? Feelings?
I am loyal to myself.
Who's there?
Who's that? Intruder!
Alright, so for those of you that actually want to know, that is the tape that the boss listened, or the big boss listened to, that actually made him want to accept this mission. The one that was on the cassette player. So that's kind of gives you a little bit of the backstory of why he's doing this. Obviously, for those of you that don't know, one of the voices on there was the boss, which was the one of the, I guess you could say, antagonists of Metal Gear Solid 3, if you don't know who that is. So now we're going to move on to about this mission. There's also another tab here that has all the files that you could listen to with Miller. There's so much briefing tapes, and I hear that Metal Gear Solid 5 is going to be the same way. So a lot of different ways to get to the backstory. Obviously, because there's not going to be as many cutscenes in this game, because it is a PSP game, you get a lot of cassette tapes. And there's not a lot of cutscenes in Metal Gear Solid 5, so you get a lot of cassette tapes and backstory as well. So we're going to continue on with the backstory, and I'm just going to keep playing these all the way through, and then we will start the mission. So again, if you don't want to really get any of these, if you don't want the story, you can always skip ahead to the actual gameplay. But I definitely recommend just sitting back, relaxing when you watch these videos, and enjoy the story. Really get to know the characters so that you can feel more emotion when the next game comes up.
Kaz, what kind of shape is that plant the professor gave us in?
First time I laid eyes on it, I thought it was some kind of joke. It was a giant birdhouse, seagulls everywhere. We eventually scraped off most of the rust and bird crap. The underlying structure's intact. Little elbow grease? Man, we should be in business.
Who used to own it anyway? Whatever shape it's in now, somebody sank some serious money into building it.
From what I can tell, an American university built it as a research platform for ocean thermal energy conversion. The name's still on some of the rusty old power turbines. I'm guessing they must have had government and corporate assistance to build it too. But they couldn't solve the thermal efficiency problem, and the project was canceled. Then after the university abandoned it, a KGB front company scooped it up for next to nothing. At least that's my theory.
How'd the KGB manage to buy a plant built with American capital, front company or not?
Yeah, that professor is quite the operator. One other thing. The plant's set up so that it can join up with other plants of the same standard.
So, they were originally planning on expanding the place, huh?
Hey, let's give it a shot. We can get some more people together and build this place up into a proper home for MSF. You're with me on this, right, boss? Snake, you can use the Fulton surface-to-air recovery system to send prisoners and unconscious mercenaries you encounter back to Mother Base. I know you've used the Fulton before, but just to make sure I'm not missing anything, let's review the steps.
Okay.
First, attach a balloon to the unconscious enemy or captured prisoner.
Right. I hook a wire to their waist, and on the other end of the wire, there's a helium balloon.
Right. Then we'll send over a chopper to catch the floating balloon with its recovery hook and reel it up into its cargo hold.
And that's it?
And that's it. We finished installing the recovery hook on the Huey.
Wait, Kaz. Something doesn't make sense about this whole process.
This again.
Well, normally, Fulton recovery is for when you're using fixed-wing aircraft. With a helicopter, isn't it simpler to land and pick up directly?
Listen, Snake. You're going to be calling for recoveries repeatedly throughout your mission. We want to keep the risk of taking enemy fire to a minimum. The best way to get that done is to do the recovery in a high-speed flyby. That's what the Fulton surface-to-air recovery system is for.
Uh-huh. What's the real reason?
Helicopters are cheaper, and the repair bills will start adding up once the bullets start flying.
I thought so. Kaz, I know we need to keep costs down, but...
Boss, you really need to get rid of this whole army mentality. We're not the Pentagon. We don't have billions of taxpayer dollars to play with. And besides...
Fine. Just pick a reason that makes sense.
Helicopters have quicker response time. Sounds strange, yeah, but it works great. I promise. You'll get used to it before long.
Yeah, I hope so.
Still can't believe Professor Galvez was KGB.
Well, like the professor said, Moscow's hell-bent on communizing Latin America.
Yeah, the Cuban intel services are all in the KGB's pocket. You don't think he's got some kind of ulterior motive?
If the CIA is up to something, it's only natural that the KGB wants to know about it. But I doubt they're showing us their full hand.
We'd better watch our backs.
What do you think, Kaz? Why did Paz come all the way to Colombia herself?
It's a long trip to make just to be Exhibit A in Galvez's sales pitch. She's only 16, still a kid. Maybe we should take her wish for peace at face value. Don't forget to give the MSF staff assignments. Where you place people will determine how Mother Base grows.
Right.
That goes for me too. Assign me wherever you think is best.
You? I thought you were second in command.
Don't worry, I've got that covered. But MSF is still small, and I don't have the leisure of sitting around on my butt all day.
I see your point, but...
Not to brag or anything, but I'd kick ass at whatever job you gave me. Put me in the area you want to focus on developing most. I'll take real good care of the staff there.
Easy, Kaz.
You probably heard this a million times, Snake, but you should always avoid combat with the enemy when possible.
Right.
We're outnumbered and in unfamiliar territory. We won't survive long in a straight fight, even with you on our side.
I know. Avoiding combat is rule number 1 in a sneaking mission.
That's right. Don't let the enemy know where you are, and attack only when necessary, using hit-and-run tactics to cripple them. It's the essence of guerrilla warfare. Going by this map, you've got a lot of different terrain types between you and the hut where the Sandinista Comandante is being held.
Looks that way, doesn't it? Starting with jungle.
The enemy won't be able to see you very well, but your visibility won't be so hot either. Stay alert. Next, you've got the swamps along the river. Make sure you get a good feel for how robust surveillance is before diving in.
Will do.
Finally, there's the boat repair cabin. The Commandante's in there. It's a key enemy outpost, and security is going to be tight. You may have to let brute force do the talking. You still have a long way to go, Snake. Use caution and don't make a racket out there. Got it?
So, are you a student at the University for Peace, Paz?
No, I am still in high school. But Professor Galvez lets me visit his office and study with him every now and then. International law, security, conflict resolution, human rights. We study all these subjects and then use them to build the foundations of peace.
Yeah, I get it. I just never heard the UN had a university for peace before.
Oh, that. Well, to be precise, it is still being set up. They have started conducting research, but the UN has not passed the necessary resolution yet. Professor Galvez couldn't wait that long.
Oh, right.
Costa Rica abolished its army, and has also hosted the Central American Court of Justice. It is the perfect place to build a university like ours. Don't you think?
Paz, you said Costa Rica has no army, right?
Correct. Article 12 of the Constitution declared that the Army as a permanent institution is abolished. It does permit us to organize armed forces for national defense based on inter-American treaties.
Only temporarily, then.
In effect, yes. But in the years since the Constitution took effect, Costa Rica has not once raised an army.
Paz, how does your country defend itself without an army? Especially in a rough neighborhood like Central America.
With the right kind of diplomacy. If we live up to our ideals and earn the respect of other countries, the international community will support us. The 2 times Nicaragua actually did invade, the conflict was resolved diplomatically under OAS auspices.
Doesn't that leave you depending on the U.S. after all?
American influence is unmatched, it is true. San Jose was critical of American policy at the time, but America supported us all the same. It was because we practiced peaceful diplomacy. That is what I like to think.
That's one way to approach it, sure. But there are countries out there who will use force no matter how bad it looks.
Maybe so. I know my way of thinking probably looks naive to you, but it is not like we expect peace without working for it. Diplomacy is a battle in itself, and we have to make the effort to seek out causes of misfortune and nip them in the bud. It was that kind of thinking that got me trapped in their base.
I'm not blaming you. You haven't done anything wrong.
The army was abolished 25 years ago, the year after the Civil War. I learned about the sorrow of civil war from a very young age, the futility of countrymen fighting each other, and the tragedy. Costa Rica learned the hard way. That is why it abolished its army. It decided to pour its efforts into education instead. More teachers than soldiers was the slogan.
Education is essential, no question. Even Che used to teach reading and writing in between guerrilla campaigns.
Costa Rica was poor at the time. We did not have many resources. I suppose we had to pick one or the other. The military or the schools.
Kaz was telling me Japan has a peace constitution, too.
That is right. Apparently, when Costa Rica was drafting its constitution, they looked to the Japanese as a model. Only, Japan's constitution renounces war itself.
Unlike Costa Rica.
But Japan has a self-defense force, right? That I do not get. I think I will ask Mr. Miller about it next time I see him. He said he used to be in the JSDF.
Huh. You're a curious one, are you? Don't study too hard. What was that you were saying? Peace is not the natural state of men? You said you learned it in school.
That is right. They are the words of the German philosopher Immanuel Kant. In 1795, he wrote a book titled Perpetual Peace. Kant argued that it is precisely because peace is unnatural that we have to make it ourselves.
How?
That is what his book is about. Is the concept starting to sound interesting now?
Not really. I belong in a more natural world.
Is that so? My grandparents died in the Civil War. If only we had been at peace, they would not have lost their lives. You actually wish for war?
It's not like I want to hurt innocent civilians, but if someone attacks you, what are you supposed to do? A country needs the strength to defend itself. Otherwise it faces invasion, oppression, political subjugation.
If they would simply stop using force to tangle with each other, countries would not need force to defend themselves.
And how would you guarantee that?
I...
Sorry, but you have to understand how the world works in order to protect the ones you love. That's not to say ideals aren't important too. They are.
You are right, Snake. Thanks. Peace. Costa Rica's forests are more diverse than you might expect. Not all of them are tropical rainforests. Costa Rica is close to the equator, it is true, but it is also very mountainous.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Go up 4,000 feet in elevation and the temperature drops more than 7 degrees.
There are basically 3 types of forests. The lowlands are covered in tropical rainforests, the highlands by tropical cloud forests, and areas where there's a dry season have tropical dry forests. The lowlands along the Caribbean coast are mostly covered by hot, humid tropical rainforests, what most people envision when they think of jungle. The closely packed trees spread their branches out at great heights to soak up the sun. Their shade makes it dark near the ground, so be careful. Of course, with so little light, few plants can grow on the ground, so it might actually be easier to walk.
So even if you could photosynthesize, it wouldn't do you any good.
Photosynthesize? People cannot do that.
Most people, anyway.
The Development Corporation of Costa Rica, or CODESA, was established 2 years ago. Since President Oduber was elected this year, the state has been putting a lot more effort into development.
The corporate state, so to speak.
Growth is good and all, but there is one thing that bugs me.
What's that?
I cannot help but wonder whether CODESA is not just a front for the CIA.
You mean what the professor was saying about the CIA mercenaries posing as security guards? They were using CODESA as camouflage?
I am worried that development is going to destroy the forests, but I do not suppose it has anything to do with this. This is a tropical rainforest, just like Bosque del Alba. The temperature and humidity can be brutal. El Senegal means place of mud.
No, mud. Great. I'll watch my step.
This area often gets flooded by the river. There are canals here and there carved out by water.
Good places to hide.
But they will also make it harder for you to see. Be careful, Snake. There should be a suspension bridge around there.
In lowlands like this?
The ground nearby is harder and higher than usual. The river cut through it, eventually creating a valley. There might be another way to get across the river somewhere.
I wouldn't want to run into someone on the bridge.
The valley tends to be misty, so you might not be able to see the water from up there. Fall and it will leave more than a bump.
I'll be careful.
When a river floods an area, the banks can collapse, creating a marsh. You see a lot of them around here.
I'll need to watch the noise my feet make in El Senegal.
There is a marsh on the other side of the river too. The suspension bridge will take you there. The river running through here is Rio del Jade, or the Jade River.
Jade? Are there minerals around here?
No, it refers to the color of the water. You will have to go to Guatemala for jade.
Doesn't look all that pretty from where I'm standing.
We are still in the rainy season, so the river is a little muddy. It will return to normal once the dry season starts. Rivers are an important means of transport around here. They are relatively calm, and there are plenty of canals along the coast too.
A boat would be more than enough to transport some good-sized cargo.
Like a nuclear weapon.
We don't know enough yet. I'll keep looking.
Thank you, Snake.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. If you are still with me, then you are a true Metal Gear Solid fan. That is for sure. As you can see, those can go on for quite some time. But we are going to finally get into the mission here. And these are going to be some pretty long videos. Each mission has its own kind of briefing files, so who knows how long some of them can take. But I just love the story so much, and I just get to soak up all the history, the information, and it's great for me. So we're going to go into mission prep. This is where you can actually decide what you want to take into each and every mission that you're doing. So you can actually pick other characters as well, although for this specific mission you can only play as Snake. But once the game opens up, you can play as different characters in different missions. So uniform, obviously we're going to be in the jungle, so the best one to be would be obviously A, because jungle's A for that one. Naked C doesn't really do good. B, I'm always looking at the jungle section. And it just doesn't, the other one we could use would be green. Water would be semi-okay. Definitely tree bark would be okay. And DPM would be okay. You can see there's actually quite a bit that you could use. And some really far out there ones. You can be pink if you want to. I think what I'm going to be is maybe, nah, we won't be tree bark. We'll just stick with the J. No, I want to give you guys a little bit something different to look at all the time. We can either go DPM. Let's go DPM.
Survival.
Survival. Alright, so we're going to take with us rations, binoculars, definitely the Fulton system, the love box. We don't have the analyzer just yet, so right now it doesn't matter who we pick up. We're just going to pick up everybody that we can. We're definitely going to be using the Mark 22, the Hush Puppy, and the M16. Alright, so I think that's pretty much good. You can zoom in, take a look at Snake. And we are ready to do this, ladies and gentlemen. So excited to get in to the next mission here. So without further ado, it's go time.
Head for the FSLN boathouse. It's northwest of there. You can use the radio you just picked up by pressing the start button to open the menu window. You know you can assign the radio to the back button by choosing options from the menu window. Fulton recovery helicopter.
You're going to notice it's going to be very easy to get through these first couple of sections. We only have so many Fulton air recovery balloons, so we're not going to be able to Fulton everybody in this level out.
Not enough room.
We'll be able to get a lot of them.
We'll keep it here at the base.
And there'll be some things I leave behind, some things that you don't always need. Got to get that S ranking.
Wait. What's going on?
The boathouse
Alright,
should
so
be
we've got
close
4
by.
left.
Neutralize the security detail and make contact with the Comandante.
Only got 1 left. Alright, so before we take out this last guy, we're going to go ahead and get some of these up. And believe it or not,
Fulton recovery subject
you can
confirmed
do it.
onboard helicopter.
when you have something above you, which is kind of weird, but
I'm seeing things.
one guy left.
Good. Now meet with the FSLN Comandante. He's inside the boathouse. Full.
¿Quién es? Eche! No way. What do we do?
Sandinista's right. I'm looking for someone.
¡Mi viejo! Shh. He's dead. They killed nuestro viejo.
You're his daughter. Then that makes you his delegado, right? Relax, I'm not your enemy. Cuban.
A cigar?
I'll take whatever you've got. I owe you one. But I prefer cigarettes, you know. How do I look? A little like El Che, no? You Cubano?
Colombiano, a photographer. I came to Costa Rica to take pictures of birds.
Birds?
Yeah, quetzals.
You've got no telephoto lens. How do you get your shots?
Telephotos for amateurs. It's all in the timing.
Oh,
Let me smoke
okay.
too.
We can talk until I finish this. Chico!
Tell me what's going on here.
This place is crawling with soldiers. They don't look like private security. More like hired guns. They're loaded with the latest gear from all over the world.
I heard they're a security force hired by Codessa.
Yeah, and I'm Papa Noel. Those guys are UCLA's.
UCLA's. La CIA.
I saw them, setting up shop in town. They're planning to do here what they did in Chile.
If that's the case, what are they after?
Whatever it is, it's not us.
You don't think they're here to push you back into Nicaragua?
Impossible. Too much hardware. Too many bases. Didn't you see? They've got helicopters, tanks. It's like we're in Da Nang. There must be something else.
They have a base near here.
There's a factory to the north, across a suspension bridge.
Factory to the north, across a bridge. Have you seen the big transport boat, mercenary crew on the Rio del Jade?
You mean the barge? It's upstream from here. Up toward Irasu.
Any idea what's on it?
I could introduce you to some of our compas up there, but I don't recommend going to the mountains. We've lost a lot of people there. They take us captive, torture us for information about our compas, and then they kill us like pigs.
Got it! Alright!
This was our last hideout, the final refuge for El Frente, after being pushed out of Nicaragua and into this peaceful paradise of Costa Rica. Then, El Monstruo attacked.
A monster.
Y mi viejo. Mi viejo. Papá. He was la esperanza. Our hope.
Now that Papa's gone, my sister's la Comandante de la Revolución.
Do not listen to him. Papa was a hero who fought by Sandino's side. I am only his daughter. You need a special talent to become cacique. It takes someone great to unite all of Las Compas.
Sorry to interrupt, but leaders don't choose themselves. Neither do heroes. You carry on his legacy of La Esperanza, and they'll follow you, no question.
You think so? My compas trust me, but not one of them calls me Comandante.
Amanda!
See what I mean?
El Colibri!
What the hell?
Es un hombre nuevo, an unmanned weapon, a robot! Chico!
No, he won't survive the fall.
Out of my way! Better for him to die at the hand of a compa than suffer their torture. Stay here. As long as I'm still alive, I might as well repay you. Over here! Fine, Chico! ¡Venceremos!
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. S ranking again for Contact the Sandinista Comandante. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the walkthrough. Let me know if there's anything I can do to make this more enjoyable for you guys as well. And hopefully you're having some good luck with the game, and hopefully you're excited for what's to come. And of course, we will see you on the next one. Peace out, bitches!
Snake, what was that thing?
Whatever it was, it looked unmanned.
Unmanned? I'd heard rumors, but an operational unit?
What the hell is going on here?
Not to quote Amanda, but the hardware they've got here isn't just unusual, it's overkill, which means one thing, it's nukes. So the question now becomes why?
We can't make that call yet. We need more intel.
How? Our source is dead.
But his daughter isn't.
Good thinking. We can follow her. Head for the next outpost and make contact with Amanda if she's still alive.
Roger.